Saint, sinner, visionary, political genius. You can call him a lot of things, but one thing is absolutely certain. Without the Roman Emperor Constantine, the world we live in today would look completely different. I mean, he took this persecuted underground faith and turned it into the very foundation of a new empire, and in doing so, he changed the course of history forever.
So how did one man pull this off? Well, that's what we're going to break down. First, we're going to look at the crumbling empire he was dealing with. Then we'll get to that incredible vision he supposedly had on the battlefield. From there, we'll explore the radical new alliance he forged between church and state, see how he literally built a Christian world, and finally, we'll tackle the biggest question of them all. Was he a true believer or just a brilliant strategist?
All right, so to really get a handle on what Constantine did, you have to understand the world he was born into. And let me tell you, this was not the glorious, powerful Roman Empire you see in the movies. This was an empire that was seriously on the ropes, teetering on the brink of total collapse. Yeah, the whole Roman ideal of power and tradition, that was pretty much a memory by this point. The reality? It was chaos. The empire was just bleeding out from one civil war after another. And you had emperors like Diocletian trying to hold things together with sheer brute force, launching these horrible persecutions against Christians. We're talking burned churches, executed believers. Rome was desperate for something, anything, that could finally bind it all back together. And that something arrived in a single, pivotal moment. The year is 312. Constantine is on the march, heading to Rome to take on his rival, Maxentius. This is it, the battle that will decide everything.
According to his biographer, a man named Eusebius, Constantine looks up into the sky and sees this incredible vision. This one moment, this story, becomes the founding myth for a totally new kind of empire, a Christian Roman Empire.
But here's the million-dollar question, the one historians still argue about today. Was this a real, life-altering, divine miracle? Or was it the brilliant calculation of a political mastermind who saw an opportunity and seized it?
Now, if you're a skeptic, you've got plenty of ammunition. For starters, he kept his title of Pontifex Maximus, which was the high priest of the old Roman pagan gods. It's kind of like a new CEO taking over a company, but keeping the old rival logo on his business card. It's weird. And then there's the fact that he waited until he was literally on his deathbed to get baptized. So you have to ask, was this all about faith, or was it about finding a tool to glue a broken empire back together?
Look, whatever was going on in his head, what he did was undeniably revolutionary. He basically created this incredible marriage between the Roman state and the Christian church, a move that would change both of them forever.
His first big move was the Edict of Milan. Just think about this. With one single decree, Christianity went from being a persecuted, often hidden religion to being a legally protected faith. Suddenly, Christians were free to worship out in the open, to organize, to grow. It was a total game changer.
And that was just the start. In 321, he made Sunday an official day of rest for the entire empire. He started giving back property that had been stolen from Christians. But maybe his most important move came in 325. He saw that the church itself was starting to argue and fracture over theology, and he decided, nope, the emperor has to get involved.
At the Council of Nicaea, what Constantine did was just unheard of. He didn't just sit back and watch, he jumped right in, acting like a bishop of external affairs. See, he wasn't just worried about theology, he was worried about politics. To him, a divided church meant a divided empire, and he was not going to let that happen.
Now, this new alliance wasn't just something on paper. Constantine was going to cement it into the world, literally, with stone and mortar. He was building a new Christian world.
His most audacious project? Building a whole new capital from the ground up. He shifted the center of the Roman world east and called his new city New Rome. We know it today as Constantinople. This was a massive statement. He was creating a capital city that was free from all the pagan temples and messy history of old Rome. This was going to be a Christian city from day one. And to protect this new heart of the empire, his successors built these legendary defensive walls, the most incredible fortifications of their time. And guess what? They worked. For 1,000 years, those walls did more than just protect a city. They acted like a vault, preserving all the priceless knowledge of the ancient world and guarding the center of Eastern Christianity. And it wasn't just about Constantinople. All across the empire, Constantine started pouring the state's immense wealth and power into the church. He funded these massive, beautiful churches. He gave the clergy special tax breaks. and he started promoting Christians to the highest positions in his government. The faith was now completely woven into the fabric of Roman power.
Which, of course, brings us right back to where we started. Back to that huge debate about the man himself. Was he a pious, faithful servant of God, or was he the ultimate political operator?
And this is where it gets so complicated, because the evidence just pulls you into two totally different directions. On the one hand, you've got the guy who ended the persecutions and spent a fortune on the church. But on the other hand, this is the same guy who clung to pagan titles and, most chillingly, had his own wife and his own son executed. How do you square those two things? The simple truth is, you can't. He's a walking contradiction.
But you know, maybe in the end, trying to figure out what was truly in his heart is asking the wrong question. What matters more is the world he left behind. As one scholar, Bogdan Popescu, put it, he created a whole new symphonic reality, a state ruled by this two-headed eagle of the emperor and the church, working together. And that model, it would define Europe for over 1,000 years.
So Constantine didn't just save an empire, he created a new kind of world. He fused Roman power with Christian faith, and he laid the groundwork for Western civilization as we know it. And it really all comes back to that one moment, which leaves us with one last mind-bending question. If Constantine had never looked up at the sky that day, would the world you're living in right now even exist?